to build a business. It has been the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole entire life, and nobody understands how hard it is until you do it yourself.
Welcome back to the JPEG podcast with Jean-Paul Gedeon, and today my guest is Michelle Jaime.
Hi.
From the Vanguard Theory. All right, Michelle, let's just jump right into this.
Okay.
Who is Michelle Jaime? Where are you from?
Well, I grew up in Hawaii Kai. I have dad 2.0, so that means that my dad got married 3 times, and I have 1 full brother, and then I have a bunch of other siblings. So in all, we have 8 Jaime kids. And I grew up with 6 of them. Yeah. I was the only girl for a long time. And then my sister came along 19 years later. So it's like...
Wow.
Yeah.
So no hand-me-downs?
No, not for... Well, actually, my stepmom was pretty young. She was like 13 years older than me. So she was like an older sister. I would borrow all her stuff all the time.
Oh, you had all the cool stuff then, like all the retro gear when you went to Kaiser. 70s,
well,
right?
What?
No?
What are you talking about? I went to school in the 70s?
No. That's what we used to wear, which is cool, like disco stuff.
I was like, calm down. You're only a couple years younger than me.
Oh my goodness, real quick. Okay. I didn't mean to say that.
Just kidding.
But you get what I mean.
Yeah?
Yeah, retro stuff. It was
yeah,
like the 70s was dope.
We used to go to like Goodwill all the time, and like now it's like a thing. You can't find anything at Goodwill.
No.
But yeah,
eBay.
Back then it was like, oh, you get your hang 10 shorts and your like aloha shirt, and you go to school barefoot. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The bathing suit on underneath.
All the Tory Richards and all those like vintage Hawaiian shirts.
Super polyester, so it doesn't breathe. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, basically plastic bags. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. So you went to Kaiser.
I went to Kaiser.
Where'd you go to elementary? Like, walk us through that public school journey.
I went to all public school. I went to Kamilawiki.
Oh, me too.
Hawaii Kai, that's why.
Yeah, that's why.
Kamilawiki, Niu Valley, Kaiser, UH, CCA in San Francisco, back to UH, and that was it.
I'm there for the public school journey with you.
Yeah.
You can produce some hustlers.
Well, yeah. I think most of my friends were prepared to go to college. I was not. I was the first one of my immediate family to go to college. Nobody had money set aside for college, and then everyone was going away, on my friends, and I was like, I think, where's the money, Mom?
Yeah.
Are you gonna send me to college?
Yeah,
no.
right.
She's like, well, oh yeah, nothing. So put myself through community college and then undergraduate. My mom was coming up at that time, like she was climbing the corporate ladder. Mm-hmm. So by the time I left to go back to school for design, she helped me out by then.
Oh, legit.
Yeah. Took her a long time to climb that corporate ladder, but then she was a boss afterwards, so she was pretty cool.
So did that kind of show you like, hey, you could do it?
Yeah, I would think like, so my dad and my mom, I don't even know how they were together, like complete opposite. My dad was sort of the dreamer. He was always into the like multi-level marketing kind of thing, get rich quick.
Yeah.
He just liked a sense of community too. Like, I think with all this kind of multi-level marketing, you create like friends and a reason to hang out together. And but he didn't really like to work for the man. So he was really creative, super creative. But he just, liked to do things his way. Or with my mom, she was very rigid, and she was like, you just put your head down and work, and then you just climb the ladder. Mm-hmm. So I think, total opposite. Yeah. But I think learn the dreamer part from my dad and learning how to set really big goals, and then learn like to be practical with my mom.
Wow.
So those are the good things I took from them. I think my brother's the same way.
David.
Yeah,
I know
David's the same way.
He's super creative.
Yeah.
I remember his designs coming out. He would do like t-shirt designs, and he was repping clothing brands. And
yeah, I think in high school, he learned how to silk screen.
Yeah.
So then he would make like Wu-Tang shirts.
Exactly.
And then like the lollipops with the Lihimois and stuff, and he would sell those and stuff. So he always was like, had that entrepreneurial spirit too. My like first like business that I opened was, I think I must have been around 11 or 12. I used to babysit, and I don't know why people let me I don't think a 12-year-old babysit. That's crazy, right? But we had a babysitters club.
Yeah.
And so me and my friend April, we had this babysitters club called the Prep Girls, and I would do like the marketing, which is basically the marketing would be on the bulletin board with like the strips.
Really?
With the phone number.
Yeah.
And I would handwrite whatever, like if you want your kids. And so both of us would go out and babysit as like a tag team. So you got two 12-year-olds watching your kid. We get the really desperate parents that just need a night out.
That is so genius.
Yeah. And then I would just bring a box, like a cardboard box with hens, spend the first like hour with the kid drawing on top of the box, and then the kid would be so proud of what they designed, they would sit in the box the rest of the night.
Sit in the box?
Yes. It's amazing.
That is genius. So
then I had like a recycling drive. I got really into that. Like the whole neighborhood dropped off their cans, and then I didn't follow through.
What did you just have a whole bunch of junk in your house?
My dad was like, "What are you doing with all these cans in the backyard?" And I didn't do anything, and he turned it in. He made the money, but I was like, just had this like, let me just start something and not finish it.
How did you, Kate? You just came, you like had entrepreneurial tendencies and spirit from the beginning.
I guess. I mean, like,
doing all these hustles. The Hawaii Kai hustler.
Hawaii Kai hustle. I think it was my dad. My dad was a housekeeper, and so he got his business from word of mouth and also those little strips, you know, on the bulletin board. So I learned that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And from him, and then just like being bored and just trying to figure out like a business. And not a business like how we're going to make money. It was like, how would I like occupy my time, basically.
You surfed.
I
know you surfed. I know some people you surf with. Where'd you surf?
My spots?
Yeah, would you
Give up my spots?
Hey,
actually,
the spots
like everyone knows about the spots.
It's on Instagram. Everyone tagged it up already. Drone shots.
I'll tell you the secret ones. I don't even go anymore anyway. So I used to love, my favorite wave was bowls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no one surfs bowls.
No one surfs bowls anymore, right? His favorite spot was bowls. And at the time, there wasn't a lot of like girls out in the water. Mm-hmm. If I saw another girl, I'd be like, hey. But then Blue Crush happened, that movie. I know. And then everyone started coming out. But I loved the girls when they surfed, but it was like, but it was just like a whole 50% of the population now entering the water.
I remember that exact moment. It just like overnight got super crowded. And then Christmas came and all the brand new boards came. Yeah. And it was just too much people. Before I was like, okay, I knew where to sit in the lineup and people would see me all the time. So I could go and paddle it and for a wave and no one would bother me. Yes, Michelle. Now it's like, oh, just let Auntie go. Yeah. Auntie, go. You're the auntie. The auntie. Oh my goodness. Hey, use it. And I'm like, oh, I just want to find a good parking spot so I don't have to walk far. On luxury lanes for me to drive. Yeah. Parking, yeah. You're way too classic. Okay, but my first job that I had two jobs. I really, really wanted to work so early on. I wanted my own money because I couldn't do a lot of things because we were poor. And so instead of my dad or mom going, no, you can't do that, I wanted to have my own control, right? Yeah. So I got a worker's permit at, what is it, like 14? You can get a worker's permit? Or is it 15? Whatever it is. Let's say 14. Okay. You were in high school. I got a job at Zippy's. Hawaii Kai. And Cosmopolitan. Oh my goodness. So I had two jobs. I have like the funniest story. I didn't understand how like business worked. And I remember the lady, she was this Indian lady, and she had like said my name, Michelle, like so like perfectly. It's beautiful, Michelle. And I had to learn how to close out the drawer. Mm-hmm. And at every penny I'd be like, 1, 2, instead of going 4, right? And the stock of new bathing suits came in, and I learned to unwrap them, count them, and put them on hangers. Mm-hmm. And then I put them in the back, in the stock room. I never put them on the floor. And for weeks, she was like, where are those new bathing suits? I'm like, I put them in the back. She's like, how are we supposed to sell anything? I still remember that today. You're sabotaging the business. I'm pretty sure. No, I just didn't understand. Like, I didn't think big picture. I was 14, whatever. But
So, and then Zippies, I used to get up in the morning. They gave me the morning shift. So before school,
what?
I would go and do breakfast at the little walk-up area, and I would just fold boxes most of the times. That's when I learned about eggs, how people like their eggs. I only knew scrambled, super local.
Yeah.
When people were like, over easy, sunny side, I didn't know any of those things what that meant. I just punched it in.
What's the most popular one?
Scrambled.
Scrambled?
Yeah.
You know what over medium is?
Yeah, I order mine over medium now.
Yeah, I like the runny yolk, but I don't like the jelly and clear stuff.
No. You don't like to see that little...
Yeah, I don't want that like...
Sometimes it's like
what is that,
starting
white?
to form a little, like the
is
chicken.
Is that a wing?
Is that a beak?
Yeah, is that a beak? No, that's a shell. Yeah, that's a beak. Is that blood line? Just sizzle that out.
So you want to kill that off.
Yeah.
Then I worked in retail in high school. I had Jeans Warehouse.
Jeans Warehouse.
That was very short-lived. I decided there's no money in retail, so I went into food and beverage. I worked at Asagio's, Alan Wong's Chai's, Kahala Mandarin, like a whole bunch of different, Sheraton, Poolside, like a whole bunch of F&B. I hosted, cashiered, dishwashed, food prepped, waitress, expedited, bartended, managed.
So this sounds like you jumped around jobs a lot.
No, it was just the same job. But
like a year at one job and then to the next place a year?
I was in food and beverage for more than 10 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and a lot of times the bulk of that was at Asagio's because they just it was so easy to work there, and it was like family owned, and I loved it. And the owner, the owner, I don't know if you know Sari Key. She was like the best. Like she was a great boss, and she came from nothing. And I remember her origin story. It was so inspiring. Like she came over with nothing, basically, like her son, and just like whatever money she had in her pocket, which was barely nothing. She started as a dishwasher, pantry, and then eventually bought Asagio's.
Whoa.
And then she's like, and she'd be in her fancy ass clothes, scrubbing the floors.
I love that.
What?
So people can just even the owner will go and take out the trash, make it perfect. If it needs to be done, do it.
She was definitely I looked at her wow, she's the one that grinded and made it, and she still has, she's not like Jaime Maka where she can't get down and scrub the floors. It needed to get done, she would do it.
That's legit.
I thought she was a boss.
That is boss.
Yeah. So, and then after that, thought I was gonna be a psychologist. I was going to school for psychology. Entered grad school for psychology, and I was like, I can't do this. I don't have the emotional stamina for this. And I was like, so I had a quarter life crisis. I feel like I have one every 20 years.
Yeah.
Right? So my quarter life crisis, and I was trying to figure out what do I want to do. So I spent a lot of time researching, do I want to be an architect? Do I want to be an interior designer? I didn't have fancy friends because I didn't grow up rich. I didn't have any of those people in my family or friends. So I spent a lot of times at Borders not buying anything, but sitting on the floor and reading up about it.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and then through a friend of a friend, they owned a big interior design company here. And they said, well, why don't you come for the summer, see if you like it, and just work in our library, materials library. I did, and I loved it.
Wow.
So I went to school for it and came back. Then they offered me a job, and I worked there for about 3 years. Got laid off in the Great Recession, and it was kind of good because I think I was burnt out working there. But they're still really close friends, and they're trying to get me a job at Disney after.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was really nice of them, but I didn't get it because I was so dumb about asking my salary. I was like, if I'm not gonna do this again, I want $100 million to do this. But my life would have been totally different if I took that job.
That was in Hawaii.
For the Aulani.
No
Yeah,
kidding,
they're building that, and I was applying to be an Imagineer. That's what they call them, which is kind of fun.
What is Imagineer, by the way?
I have no idea, but I didn't get the job, so that's
doesn't even matter.
That's all I know.
Now you can go and stay there.
Yeah, and then I was repping because all those furniture lines and stuff. So I did that. And in the meanwhile, I started a company with the friend, the Vanguard Theory. And it was still during the recession. So at the time, everyone laid off everybody in their firms. Everyone's running lean. So when they did get a big project, like a hotel, they called us up.
Oh, no kidding.
To help kind of like augment their team. So Phil Potts called me back, and I actually got to, after they laid me off, I got to work with them again, and then some other architecture companies, interior design companies, and through that we were able to like build our portfolio under our own name. And then as the economy got better, I had to make a decision to go 100% with my company or keep my side hustle. And so I did, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole entire life.
To stop the side hustle, which is slinging furniture.
With slinging furniture.
Yeah.
To build a business. It has been the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole entire life, and nobody understands how hard it is until you do it yourself, right?
Yes.
Do you feel like you have friends who work for companies and they work their asses off, but they still don't know the grind of owning your own business?
Yeah, they think that like that's it. It's like, no, that's it, and everything else.
And it doesn't end.
Never ends.
Yeah. I like take Saturdays off. That's it. Forever. I'm so burnt out all the time.
You need, wait. I feel like, can I just get to bed and go to sleep? Like right now, I don't want to go to sleep. I wanted to go to sleep.
I was like, yes, I'll sit here and talk with you because I don't want to be at my desk with you right now.
Sure. That's how I lure people on the show. It's like time away.
Yeah. And I was like, 2 o'clock? Perfect, because usually that's the time I want to fall asleep at my desk.
Oh man.
Change up in scenery.
This is so beautiful.
Some people work really hard at their jobs. Like I was one of those people that worked my ass off for somebody else. And I thought it was hard. And I felt like this emotional attachment to my job where like I wanted to do a good job. But at the end of the day, no matter what I did, I still got my salary. Doesn't mean that when you own your own business, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like I remember when I first started the business, we were pretty good. The first year we had all these projects lined up. The second year, we're like, what happened? And it wasn't because I never had to think about the next job before as an employee. So I never thought about business development. I was just killing it with the project, and as soon as it was done, I was like, hello, now what?
Knock,
so
knock.
like our second year was really tough. Our third year was okay. Our fourth year was really tough. And there were times I was like just trying to find a way into the industry. Like just give me a chance. And I didn't go to business school. I didn't have friends at the time that were like mentors for me or have made it. I had friends that like started their own business because of the recession too. We're all sort of on the same level, just bitching and moaning just like war stories, but no one's giving good advice to each other. And I would, every like free time I would have, I would read articles, I'd read books, I'd listen to podcasts, just trying to find a way. And there was a point where I got really depressed. I was like, I'm so poor. I maxed out all my credit cards. Then taxes came along and I was like, oh my God, I don't even know how I'm gonna do this. I had to pay all the taxes. We obviously weren't charging enough and just not understanding how to operate all those administrative expenses. And I got to a real low part, and I remember talking to my friend, Tiana.
I do, yeah.
I was telling her, like, do you think I should, at nighttime, go and bartend again? Because that was like really good money. And she told me, and she doesn't remember saying this, but like she's so proud now. She said, well, why don't you could take that time and just reinvest it back into your company and just work really, really hard. So I did. I didn't go out and get another job, even though I applied and I got jobs other places. I stuck it out and I just worked extra, extra hard and tried to figure out like different strategies in order to get like the one project that would kind of turn the corner for us. So we like try to diversify our income. So instead of going just hotels, we did like residential, we did spec writing, we did purchasing, we did all kinds of things to just try to figure out our way in. Because we did all those things, but like no one's ready for you to say like, I can do everything. You have to like just prove yourself first and then go, oh, I can do this too, right? So we were just trying to find a way in, and it wasn't until we did the Surf Jack hotel that we really got recognition for that, and that was really thanks to our clients who gave us the trust. and also let us run with it. Before that, we did like the West End, we did like the Lanai Theater, like all these pretty cool projects, but no one cared. But when you did the Surf Jack, people were like, oh.
Yeah.
Like,
that thing popped.
The thing was like totally different than anything else in Waikiki. That couldn't have happened with a different client. So we really appreciated that, like, we just happened to be with this client that really believed in our story that we wanted to do. And it wasn't like immediately after, like, we're getting phone calls and it was sort of the same client hiring us again. And then through word of mouth, then people would hire us. But there's like, we just got recognition for it. And I think in our industry, people took it seriously after that. But for a long time, we just looked like two girls that just like have a hobby and just trying to figure it out. And that's how it felt too.
No kidding.
For a long time. Yeah, because we weren't getting paid. So, like, I was talking to another friend who in New York, and he owned his company, branding company, and he said it wasn't until the 6th year that he turned the corner. So at that time, I was 5 years in. I was just holding on for the 6th year.
Just going with his experience in that like, 6th year?
Yeah. So, I mean, it did, like, we turned the corner in the 6th year, but not in, like, money, but in kind of, like, people accepting us as designers.
What were you just on? The Women Wahine?
Yeah, the Hawaii Business Magazine throws this Wahine Forum.
Yeah. How'd you like that?
That was pretty cool. I mean, I went 10 years ago. My friend took me. And to be honest, I was like, I've never been in a room with that many women before. Because I was a girl that grew up with all boys, right?
Oh, yeah.
And to be in a room, I didn't go to sororities or anything like that. It kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Was the energy in the room like
well,
different?
It's just everyone was so nice to each other. So I was like, what is this? There's just like, no one's like posturing and like, I'm so important. Everyone's just like so nice. I'm like, did we all drink the Kool-Aid and I didn't have a sip yet? Like, why is everyone so nice? But people are just generally, like, they're just genuinely nice. And I think like women are, you know, seeing that we need to be given the opportunity to be in the C-suite, and they need to be like entrepreneurs. They need to be like given opportunities. That everyone's there for like a reason to empower other women. And I just didn't get it the first year. So this year when I went, it got bigger. They sold out. It was
like 1,000 people?
1,200 people.
Good Lord.
1,200 people. So that part was pretty intense. But you know, again, I had fun because a lot of my friends were on the panels.
Yeah.
And so from 10 years ago, from sitting in the audience to like being on the panel was pretty funny. Yeah.
So who was on the panel?
So on my panel, it was talking about making a personal brand, and Jana Lam was on there, and Courtney from Pico.
I know her.
Yeah, and then me.
Who else?
There was another panel.
Allison Izu?
That was the Mompreneurs.
Oh, okay, so different ones.
She was that one.
Yeah, she's cool.
Amanda Corby Noguchi on that one, and Tiana Gamble on that one.
Well, it's a powerhouse of ladies.
Yeah, and it was just fun because like you just support each other.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a lot of people that I didn't meet personally, but I kind of knew from around. So I mean, that Allison Izu really like surprised me. I didn't know too much about her, and I was like, I really like her afterwards. Yeah. Even Jana Lam, I was like, I know nothing about Jana, and I was like, I love Jana. She's so cool.
You did the Surf Jack. What was it before? It was like a really rundown hotel.
Yeah, it was called Hokele Suites before, and it was the worst hotel on TripAdvisor, like the worst. And I would go there and do site audits and just see how people use the space. There was a laundromat in the back that was supposed to be for the people who stayed for months at a time because it was the cheapest place to stay. And the laundromat ended up to be, the whole community used it. So people come in from the neighborhood, use the laundromat in the back.
Oh, wow.
Then there was this horrible buffet restaurant, and they would bring tourists in by the bus. They would come in and do this buffet, and there was like someone living in the back corner, sleeping in a shower pan. It was horrible. People used to come in, use the bell cart with the rice cooker, all like gallons of like with like tequila and whatever, and they post up there for months at a time because it was so cheap. It was disgusting.
That is gross.
Yeah.
So notable projects that you guys did: the Vanguard Theory, Surf Jack.
Surf Jack. Renew, we just opened. So that was, we did the branding for that too.
Oh, wow.
People have been asking us to do the branding, and we just, like, it takes a lot of effort first, so I didn't want to do it. So Renew is the first time we branded the hotel too, and we strategized for that to be a conscious hotel, meaning that there's this wellness market going on, and people are doing this kind of wash, like wellness wash, like brainwashing, that's so wellness. But as we saw it is like giving back to your community and being sustainable and being mindful. So we positioned them to be kind of a conscious hotel, a wellness hotel, and we put them together with a nonprofit. So guests, when they go, they don't go to like the concierge and go, can I have a banana boat ride or parasailing?
Yeah.
They'll take the guests out through Travel to Change, and they'll go rebuild the Hia fish ponds, or they're kayaking and they'll remove invasive species. So it's like, so in that same kind of concept where people like to stay at the Ace Hotel because they wanted to associate themselves with a cool brand.
Yeah.
This is the same thought of the conscious consumer wanting to align themselves with a business that align with their own morals and values. So whether it be like a philanthropic mindset or wellness and some kind of like holistic approach and sustainability, we offered that and kind of told that story that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the next one you guys are working on?
White
if you can
Sands.
or cannot say, I don't know.
White Sands.
White Sands!
Yeah. That one's going to be really cool. And that is an Edward and Bauer building, which I don't know if you're familiar with Edward and Bauer.
I'm very familiar with Edward and Bauer.
You are?
Yeah.
So, really?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people do know that. So, Edward and Bauer did these like courtyard set of pools, right? And then like these little walk-up kind of condos. And so he's kind of known for the building everyone loves next to Bill Sidney. It's called Breakers. And he also did White Sands. And it's one of the very few that is not torn down for a glassy, shiny building. So what we did is we kind of embraced that and tried to make this oasis in the middle of Waikiki. And so it's got this retro vibe to it. And it was built the same time as International Marketplace.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. So we took inspiration during that time, and it was kind of this like really like fantasy of what Hawaii was. Like this sort of dreamscape and like Don Ho and this kind of grittiness to it and this like sex appeal to it. So when we were designing, but Edwin Bauer also did these really cool things with Japanese panels and like his Asian influence. So we took all of that and tried to do a contemporary version of like this Fantasia Hawaii oasis in the middle of Waikiki.
Super Instagrammable, right?
It's
gonna be all over Pinterest.
It might be.
That is legit.
That's not the goal, though, is for it to be on
It's
Instagram.
a byproduct of the
Yeah,
awesomeness.
I hate when people do that. I had clients ask for like, "Where's the Instagram moment?" I'm like, "Stop."
They asked for the moment.
Yeah, I cannot design for a picture. I cannot design, like, I think nowadays it's about experiences, right? Like,
Totally,
it's
yeah.
a story. Like, you want that person to be so moved by the place that you've created or the story that you've told that they go back and they tell their friends. And it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna go there, I'm not gonna stay there, but I will go to their pool and take a picture and I'll never see them again. It's gonna be like this relationship that they cultivate, and I think that's more important than taking the photo.
Totally.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Aloha Builds. I saw you on TV.
Yeah.
I saw you on television.
Funny, right?
And David.
And David.
And Grant.
And Grant. And Grant. And my brother Davin.
And Kama. Was Kama on there?
Kama was on there too.
I know Kama Clark.
I know you know Kama Clark.
Okay, so.
My whole like the family and friends. Sid was on there.
Sid who?
Sid Kadasho, yeah. Sid Kadasho is one of my friends.
If I saw him, I would know him.
Yeah.
So I watched a bootleg copy that someone filmed on their phone, someone with the last name Jaime.
It's probably my stepmom.
Yeah, on YouTube. It's like filming the TV.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm gonna watch this before the interview. And I was like, I watched both part one, part two. That was good.
That's hilarious.
Because my wife, she watched a lot of, we watch Property Brothers a lot.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I was like, understand that show. They're killing it, those guys.
Yeah, I was like, dude, these guys must get so much business. My question to you. You get more business from that show?
No.
Shut your face.
No, not at all. It's just, okay, here's the thing. I just talked about this the other day at that women's forum, personal brand. And one of the questions was like, did you do something that was like off your brand? And how did you like come back from that?
Yeah.
And Aloha Builds was off my brand. So my brand, the Vanguard Theory, not my personal brand, but like the Vanguard Theory, we're doing like luxury homes, we're doing boutique hotels and restaurants. Aloha Builds is this design build show that you do it super fast, and you know, it sells the dream to America that it's that easy to do.
Yeah. And
I think it really just kind of muddled the water of what the Vanguard Theory is, what I do every day. And that was a little hard to reconcile. And I would get calls from people saying, hey, can you do my bathroom and my rental in my townhouse? And I'm like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
But on the show, people think that they know you, which is, I've had people come up to me and get really angry at me for not responding to their renovation inquiry of doing their bathroom and their rental. But they think that they know you enough to, because you're on TV.
They fully relate with you. They think they've seen you so much. You're familiar.
That's a trip.
Wow.
That's a trip.
Never had that yet.
But from the most, like, people in Hawaii are so nice. Like, they want to support you, and like the results of the show, I think, was really just like people being really proud that someone local from Hawaii got to be on TV, and that was a really cool part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean about being like off-brand. So you're B2B. You're working with businesses, business to business, not business to consumer. Straight up for that.
Well, I mean, for the homes, I do.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, but the high-end pieces, like you got that luxury component. That's the brand. We get similar things like, oh, I need a birthday banner, or can you like make brochures for my my funeral? And it's like, oh, like, no. Yeah, no, we help with that. We help with that, like especially with friends. But like we get people we don't even know from like Yelp or Google or Instagram or wherever we're promoting, and these small projects come in, and we've had people like on Yelp like they didn't answer my call or this. I'm like, well, we did, and it's like, yeah.
That's the hard part, is
super hard.
Gracious and saying like you appreciate that they are considering you, but no.
I think you casted like a huge net, and they're grabbing all this stuff, all these like fish and sharks and boots and cans. Yeah. It's tough.
I know, and so this year I'm really trying to learn how to say no graciously. Like it's still hard without like, you don't want to lie, but you don't want to like hurt somebody's feelings.
That'll be too high maka maka.
Yeah, right? Because then I always like think of the movies when they're like, oh, right as like you're feeling good, something happens. Something happens, a twist happens, and like I never want to be that person who's not grateful for what they have. And then, because what if like another recession hits and we're all just like,
no one's doing hotels and restaurants.
I'll do your bathroom. Come on.
Yeah. I got bathroom deals out there. Come on, let's hook it up.
Yeah. So
what do you guys do when you're designing things? What do you do? Like the walls, the whole thing, like with the hotel?
Like my real business?
Yeah, like say you walked into this studio.
Yeah. So we do interior architecture, we do brand strategy, we do custom furniture, art creation, procurement, the whole shebang.
So from blank walls, you design where the shelving will go, what wallpaper or paint will go.
Where the lights go,
what
the flooring is, what the baseboards are, what the wall treatment is, where the windows go, where the doors go, where the bathrooms, where the sinks, like we plan all that out.
And do you know where you source all these materials too?
We source all the materials.
No kidding.
Yeah. We are not architects, and I feel like sometimes we get mistaken for architects because I did go to architecture school, but I'm a dropout. But I have a good understanding of what needs to happen, but architects are so, like, they have so much more complexity to their work besides aesthetics. Like they're just they're really trying to make the building safe, and they're really like making sure it doesn't fall, and also trying to make it look beautiful at the same time, and coordinate all these different consultants, including people like us, who have different ideas of what the budget should be.
Right.
So that's why I couldn't be an architect. I wanted to be one, but then I was like, I really like the aesthetics part of it versus like the engineering part of it.
If you could be anything, what would you be? Like, say you're talking to your 18-year-old self. What would you tell your 18-year-old self?
Well, I already had the quarter life crisis, so I would be doing this. The only thing I would do different is give myself a little bit more time to appreciate it. I think I'm just like running, sprinting, that I don't like look at the view and go, this is pretty amazing.
You don't stop and take it in for a moment.
Yeah.
You're just...
I think I need a break to really understand what I built. And it's tough sometimes when you're just tired and you're just trying to like put out fires all day.
Do you celebrate the wins, like the small wins or the big wins with your team, and do you celebrate those?
That was our goal for this past year. So we try to. We need to do it more, because a lot of times it's not a clear, we're done. Like we'll install the furniture or something, and then we still have some things trickling in.
Yeah.
So like most of the team is done, but then the procurement team is not finished yet. So
no pop of the champagne too early.
Nobody wants to drink. Everyone's like, let's just go home. I'm like, what? I'm like, let's go get a drink, guys. No, nobody. Everyone has kids.
Yeah.
So go home. I want to take body shots across the street. No.
No. Let's go. Okay. Do you have kids?
No kids.
Do you want kids?
No. Here's the thing. I don't know. This is a little personal, but I am a great auntie. I grew up with a lot of like siblings, and I had them in my hip because I am the oldest.
Yeah.
I think I'll be a really great auntie. I'd be open to adoption.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Or like, childbirth scares me. I don't know how these ladies do it.
I was standing there when my wife did it.
That is like hero status. And I don't know how these ladies do it.
The body does amazing things.
I mean,
it's mind-boggling to me though.
If you can tell me just to put it in a glass of water, shake it up and swirl it and something grows out, I would have lots of kids right now.
Okay.
But it ain't.
So you're looking at like human cloning and...
Yeah, I'm looking into that.
Yeah. Stem cell research.
Yeah.
Big investor in that.
Yeah. Yeah, looking into that.
On the journey to success, how much does hustling play into it? Like how important is it in the ingredients to success?
100%. Well, maybe like 99.9%. Like if you don't work hard, nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen. But you gotta have a really good idea too. Like that's what I was talking about, like trying to find a strategy, trying to get in through the door. Like I was working really hard, but like not finding a way in. So you gotta like 100% work hard, but like also be really mindful about what you're doing. Are you selling the same product as the person right next to you? How can you be different? What are your plus and minuses? Like one, I was younger than most of my competitors, so I'm gonna be the younger brand. I didn't come up with money, so I'm not gonna sell myself as like this high-end brand. And we only have a team of 6, so I'm gonna say that we are like hands-on boutique company. You're gonna get us, you're not gonna get like consultant, so it's like I wrote this whole list of things that I'm not in order to figure out who I am. So I didn't go in going, this is who we are. I just figured out we're hitting a wall and you just keep trying to figure out how to get in. But the hustle is super important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you get lucky? Do you feel like you got lucky?
Here's the lucky part, I think, is some people get like really pissed off that they grew up poor and they didn't have opportunity. But I think it was grit building. So I think I was lucky to have two parents that were completely opposite, that showed me to dream and to work hard. Because I didn't earn any of that, right? Like I was born into that. So that part was lucky. I think the hustling part and the ability to kind of look big picture takes training. I don't think it's something that like I'm lucky and I just happen to have that. I think it's just the grit building. My parents really helped out.
So some people would say that's not lucky, but you look at it as luck.
For sure, it's luck.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd say perspective. The way you looked at that right there, some people say, I grew up like this, I didn't have all this. Complain and whatever.
Get angry at that. But you can take whatever you want from it, right? Like, I have a friend and she's amazing and she's an entrepreneur and she grew up in Waianae, single mom, and she wasn't doing like good on that side of the island, and she took a bus to Kaiser every day.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's grit. She started her own company. She's killing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you want to give her a shout out or you want to keep it?
Teraturo.
Teraturo.
Yeah.
That's the right word? Said it perfect. All right, well, that about wraps it up. That's super dope. Thank you.